You trade on pocket option but have no idea what strategy to stick to. Let me show you a strategy for beginners and pros that I personally use. It's not that complicated and the risks are marginal if you follow all the steps properly. And how do I avoid messing it up, you would ask? Just watch the video. Hello, my darlings. Glad to see you all here. Today, we've got a semi professional strategy that isn't for everyone, but that's the perk of it. Because if you're able to apply this strategy in your everyday trading, trust me, you're going to be enjoying truly amazing results on a daily basis from now on. So, if you understand the market, the process responsible for the price fluctuations, and understand how oscillators work, make sure to watch this video until the end. I'm sure you're gonna be thrilled by today's results. So I've already reviewed the strategy on my channel in the past, but today we've got a major goal where you're gonna try to make $10,000. I mean increase our deposit up to 10 grand. Thereby today's trading time is gonna be risky but really fascinating. For starters, we need only one single indicator, which is the famous and beloved RSI, but we're going to be using it an extraordinary way. Unlike its normally standardized appliance as an indicator of overbought and oversold chart condition, we will be looking for divergence between the chart and the set oscillator. Let's prep it properly first. I'm making the lines a bit bolder in order to make it more visually comprehensive and convenient to observe. Yep, that's better. You might be surprised, but sometimes when the chart is, for instance, rising, the indicator, the RSI oscillator can be in the opposite state, falling. This is exactly what we call a divergence, and this is exactly the kind of moments we're focusing today on and trading within. It's not an extremely often occurrence, but it does manifest amazingly. So right now, let me find such an example for y'all, and we will quickly work it off. So look, this one seems to be a nice example. What I want to show you here, we're paying attention to the chart's rising condition and to the oscillator. Why is the chart rising? Because successive high values are increasing along with the successive low values. We can see very clearly. Generally, the extremes are constantly rising. So the rising structure in the chart is obvious. We can draw a trend line through several vertices, but that's not exactly a trend line. It's a line of resistance. Meanwhile, if we take a look at the oscillator, for instance, here's a vertex in the chart, and here's the same peak on the oscillator. Here's the third vertex in the chart, and here it is on the oscillator. If we consider RSI only, or oscillator, we can notice it's remaining at a standstill, or has even already started slowly falling. So the chart is rising, the trend in the chart is upwards, while the RSI doesn't bother to move any further up. This is the moment we can witness such a discrepancy at. It's called divergence. So the main thing for us to watch out for is these candle cases when the chart is rising while the oscillator is falling, or vice versa, a falling condition for the chart and a rising one for indicator. Any of these two scenarios work for us to trade within, so it's important to remember the chart will always go after the oscillator sooner or later. Thereby, if the chart is rising and the oscillator is falling, we're going to be trading downwards. On the contrary, when the oscillator is rising and the chart is falling, we're trading upwards. Let's finally find the first case and get straight to practice. So guys, what can we notice here at first sight? We're back at the set divergence. Let's zoom in and try to analyze this particular case. I'm intentionally taking the vertical lines in order to show you where exactly the first chart peak and the first oscillator vertex are. And we're taking the second line and placing it between the two peaks. What can we see here? The chart has formed two vertices, and if we draw a line through them, we're gonna see the last successive high has been updated in the chart, so the whole situation is working upwards. But as for the indicator, however, we can clearly see we take these two peaks into consideration and see the second vertex is lower than the first one. Meanwhile, in the chart, this exact same peak is higher than the first one. In total, we're facing the situation with a divergence. The price is growing in the chart, which can be recognized by the tilted line drawn through the vertices, while the oscillator's price indicator is lowering. As I've already said, the primary chart will always go after the oscillator sooner or later, but since the oscillator indicates a falling tendency, we placed a $1,000 trade downwards and quickly made a profit. The time frame I'm currently working with is 1 minute. The candles are set for 1 minute just as well. So everything's alright. I hope I managed to show you a great example of when we should trade downwards. Make sure to pay attention to the local peaks that are located near to each other. No need to draw your lines, this way or something and try to find a divergence here. It's too long of a distance. We work with vertices that are next to one another, while the oscillator displays the same chart this way, for instance. So let's carry on. So guys, we're quickly moving on to the next deal. This time the trade is upwards. The principle in this case is identical to the one we've discussed earlier, but vice versa. We're looking at the two vertices in the chart. This time they're not two peaks, but rather two successive low values. We're drawing a line and seeing the second bottom is lower than the first one. At the same time, the RSI oscillator keeps a rising structure. It's even more noticeable if we compare it to the scale. The indicator line touched the 30 line here, but has yet to reach it for the second time. Therefore, we have all the rights to expect some kind of a reaction or retracement, as I'm hoping the chart is about to form a complete vertex now. I mean, a local successive low, of course, which meanwhile hasn't been updated by the oscillator yet. And since the chart is a bit ahead of the oscillator this time, we've come to a conclusion that some kind of an upward motion is soon to be expected. So no strong motion has happened yet, but I think if this candle right here closes in green, the chart will finally reverse and start rising due to this divergence. What major mistakes one might stumble upon looking for divergence? For example, take a look at this discrepancy right here. Let me show it to you. For example, seems to appear like an upward motion, and the oscillator seems to display the same rising motion, right? Meanwhile, this upward motion is more steep because here we've got such smooth of a rise, while this growth is more defined. But my dear friends, all of that is BS, since both this one and this one, even though it's not as obvious, it's still a rise in motion. We're looking for cases when the chart and the oscillator contradict each other, when the chart is rising while the oscillator is falling, or vice versa. I hope it's clear. So guys, let's place a downward trade here. I guess no detailed comments are necessary anymore. You can clearly see it yourself. We're just drawing a line through some peaks, although this one has yet to completely form. But assuming the next candle will be red, this moment would be rightfully a complete vertex. We can see the chart is rising. The oscillator, however, is slightly falling. This vertex hasn't been updated yet. The successive high that occurred right here, touching the area of 70, this one. So we'll see how it goes. We're basically going ahead a little by not waiting for the vertex to entirely appear. So 13 seconds are left. Let's just observe the process and wait for the result. So I'm satisfied with the entry point we've chosen. Technically, we can keep trading downward now since the vertex is already formed and the successive high still hasn't been updated, which means RSI is still displaying a downward motion. Although it doesn't look like a falling motion, it's obviously not the same rising one that's happening in the chart. I think you can clearly see yourself. So we're placing another trade downwards. I'm gonna switch the candle chart to 5 seconds. Let's see how the deal ends up. A very beautiful fall we got. The market has started slowly recovering, but it's not even close to being an obstacle to our profit. We've earned a decent sum, so let's carry on. So we're observing the next case. The picture is quite interesting. All the peaks are so close to each other, and we can see the divergence between the chart and the oscillator. Let's do this real quick. Let me do it. This way it's much more noticeable. The successive low value hasn't been updated at the scale, while it's been a while since the chart is already way higher than its successive low, a successive high, I mean. So we're waiting for a tiny retracement or some kind of a rollback. The trade is downwards for 1 minute. Let's see. We're getting another profit with no trouble whatsoever. We are indeed lucky so far. Not a single loss today, just a couple more deals, and we will reach our goal. So guys, the next potential case for us to place a trade downwards, we're waiting for the candle's body to fixate above this level. Let's place a horizontal line right here to mark it. So the most important thing at the moment is the body, exactly the body of the green rising candle fixating higher. But also, we gotta keep this vertex in mind. It has to be lower than this one right here. However, apparently we might consider giving up on expecting a divergence here, since this is what the candle has formed like. You see it. Whatever, we're clicking lower then, because there's the level right here. This particular deal isn't really made with the strategy we're working today with, but we have all the rights to do so, as the case will probably end up highly qualitative. I hope you forgive me for placing a trade unrelated to our today's strategy of focus. It's just one single deal. I think it's alright. Look how amazing of a signal there is. We've got a really good resistance level. Also, this candle formed literally so perfectly. It's a doji candle with a downward shadow. It falsely attempted to break through the level, but didn't manage to. Hence, this rollback is happening afterwards. So 12 seconds are left until it is expired. Let's see how it goes. Amazing, we've got our profit. Let's carry on. So guys, the final case for today. I really hope we won't stumble upon any sudden and unexpected moves. Let's actually place one more $100 trade to be sure our account balance will end up with a higher amount as 10K. We're witnessing the same divergence we've already faced repeatedly. We're drawing a line through the two vertices. In this case, the chart displays a falling tendency, whereas the oscillator has yet to update this local successive low. Thereby, we are trading upwards, waiting for at least some kind of a tiny retracement from the level. Let's observe the whole thing and see. So we've got our profit with no issues whatsoever. I believe we made an excellent result. My dear friends, if you want to trade the same way together with me and make money at my time of the day, at any time of the day, don't forget about my free Telegram channel where I run daily trading sessions. I'm sure you built a trust in my professionalism a while ago. So all you gotta do is to apply the new knowledge I provide with you through my videos and practice to cope in my deals. That's it for today. See you in my next video.